And do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Save gas, save time, save money. Save-A-Lot, the name says it all. Locally owned and operated, Save-A-Lot of Tracy City promotes shopping locally on the mountain. Come check out the clean, organized store where hometown folks like you save with weekly specials from the Weekly Shopper. Experienced employees choose our products very carefully and keep a large selection of fresh produce and fruit stocked, offering you the best deals for the best possible quality. With a primetime butcher on staff, expect fresh meat cut and packaged on location, or request your favorite cuts while shopping name brands and Save-A-Lot brands in our frozen food sections, and fresh milk and dairy products always up to date. Friendly, helpful faces are on staff for any requests and questions you may have. Open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Stay on the mountain. Shop at your locally owned Save-A-Lot. The name says it all.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mircea Basaraba.
And I'm Mara Hutchings, nurse practitioner. Welcome to Southern Tennessee Cardiology. Here at Southern Tennessee Cardiology, we offer a variety of testing done right here in our office. Along with our highly trained and skilled staff, we have the latest technology for cardiac stress testing, high-tech ultrasound, and cardiac monitoring. Whether you are experiencing chest pain, palpitations, or need clearance for surgery, Southern Tennessee Cardiology is here for your cardiac needs.
Morning, everyone. What is today? Friday, August 1st. Pat and I have been chatting. We've had our own show before we even got here, haven't we, Pat? Pat and I have never met, but through the fabulous power of Facebook.
Love it.
I have followed Pat's adventures from the Artisan Depot in Cowan. And it's art, and you know how much I love art. But we're not here for art yet, really, but it is. Pat Richards is here, and we're talking about her brother's, what, ministry?
Ministry. My brother is Dr. Jim Richards. You can go, you do a Google search, his name will pop up 900 times. He's written, at this point, he's probably written 25 or more books. I kind of can't keep count at this point. He's traveled all over the world and ministered, but he did a wonderful program called Heart Physics Essentials. And that's really kind of what I want to talk a little bit more about today.
Let's do it. Where do you want to start with that?
Well, I want to start and tell my own personal story with drug addiction and alcoholism. My dad, I was raised in Tullahoma, and my dad actually was my dad and his whole family. There were 13 kids in my dad's family. I think only 3 girls, the rest boys. All of them were alcoholics, but one, which was the youngest one, all of the girls married alcoholics. So then my dad, quickly after he married my mother and had me, he was considered an alcoholic by that point. And back in the day, you'll still find people that know about my dad and will say, "Oh yeah, I knew your dad, your whole family. We all drank together. We all partied together. We all did this together, that together." And my dad was actually infamous in Tullahoma. And
what's your dad's name?
well, he was known by Curly Richards.
Curly Richards. All right, you folks out in Coffee County. Curly Richards.
George
daughter.
Orr, which he still has a real estate company over there. My dad was a carpenter, a builder, and George Orr put my daddy through rehab 3 different times because he said, if I can keep him sober, he's the best worker I've ever had if I can just keep him sober. And about the 3rd time that my dad came out of rehab, he said, "You know, I can make a mean basket," because that's what they teach them to do in rehab. They teach them these crafting things. He said, I can do a mean basket," but he said, "I'm still a drunk." And but he did become a Christian later. After that, he did become a Christian. But my dad was not a nice man. He had children by multiple women. He was abusive, extreme abusive, violent, cruel, and everybody in town knew Curly Richards' kids, which were us, and everybody knew, oh, you know how Curly Richards' kids are. You know how that bunch is.
Hell yeah.
And so
the sins of your fathers follow
yes,
you.
Yes. So we all tried to live up to that reputation. The brother right under me was probably an alcoholic, probably by the time he was 13 or 14 years old. He was probably already an alcoholic. My younger brother, not so much an alcoholic, but got into drugs pretty immediately. And I had my fair share of drinking issues. So so the thing that how it's a long story about how I got here. One of the memories that I have about my dad is the only thing that I could tell my dad knew about God was that his family believed if you did not belong to the church, not the denomination, but the church that his family went to, you were hell-bound, and divorce was the unpardonable sin. And so my dad did everything he could to try to force my mother to divorce him, yet all the while telling her, "You don't even belong to the right church, so you're going to hell anyway. Just divorce me. You go to hell. I'll be free." So everything my dad did, which, even as a young child, 3 and 4 years old, that there was something I knew extremely wrong about that. But I think the last time I remember my dad being at home, he came in drunk in the middle of the night, beat my mother, which was a very common occurrence. Sometimes it would go on for hours. This one particular night, he decided he was going to burn the house down with us in it. Pulled a mattress off into the middle of this little shotgun house we had and doused it with kerosene and passed out with matches in his hand. I was standing in my bedroom door ready to bolt. I knew I wouldn't be able to get to my brother's house where he drugged the mattress. I would have had to run across a burning mattress to get to my brother's, but I was trying to formulate a plan.
How old were you?
Probably about 4 or 5.
Oh my.
I was trying to formulate a plan, so I was watching, waiting. And if my dad had struck a match, he would have been the first one up, burn up, because he was covered in kerosene himself. But he passed out with matches in his hand on this kerosene-soaked mattress. So the fight the next day between he and my mother was this him telling my mother, you're going to hell anyway. Just go ahead and give me a divorce. And in my mind, I thought now I didn't understand that at the time, and it took me probably 40 years to understand it and deal with it. But I thought, God must be crazy. If my dad, who has just tried to murder all of us, thinks that my mother is going to hell, but he's not, how? God's got to be crazy. I didn't have enough understanding to be able to say to myself at that time, at 4 or 5 years old, no, it's my dad that's crazy.
Yeah.
Not God, it's my dad. So I grew up with this thought in my mind, in my heart, and it formed a belief: God's crazy. You can't, one thing you cannot do is trust a crazy anything. Any person that I knew that was kind of crazy, you couldn't trust them. You didn't know what they'd do. And I grew up in this neighborhood with dirty old men and crazy boys. And I was one of the only girls in the whole neighborhood. So I say I learned how to do 3 things really well. I learned how to manipulate and talk real loud, because I found out that dirty old men usually will just pick on the quiet ones. I don't know how I came about that information, but I learned that I could talk my way, even as a child, into or out of a lot of different things. But I also had very long legs, and I could run real fast if that didn't work. And I also gained some good fighting skills. So growing up, that's what I did. I talked, I manipulated, I ran. And I could fight if I had to. Didn't want to, but I could. And so that helped me survive as a young child and as a teenager. And I always knew, I tried therapy. I always said, this is how I got into my art situation. I needed therapy really bad and never could afford to pay for therapy. But my grandmother taught me how to crochet. Before I could read and write, I could crochet. And I could always afford a needle and thread of some kind, and that became my therapy. So I would crochet. I taught myself how to knit. My mother sewed. Excuse me. My mother sewed. I taught myself how to sew. So I just grew up doing all these things that brought me comfort. And I would go through these crises, and instead of having nothing to show for it, I would have something, excuse me, to show for this crisis. And so, I'm sorry, I've got a little dust in my throat, obviously.
Oh, that's okay. If I could grab some water somewhere, I would give it to you. Oh, you know what I have? Someone left one of these.
Oh, thank you. That'll
perfect.
work.
See? Pay it
That'll
forward.
work. Ask and it shall be given.
Funny how that works.
So anyway, I in my
Take that.
20s, my brother became a Christian, and he was transformed. I saw him come out of drug addiction. I saw a light come on in his eyes that I'd never seen in his eyes. Really, I'd never seen it in anybody's eyes. Because although we did go to church as young children, I didn't really see anybody excited about it. I didn't really see, people went to church and they did these little formal prayers, and I did them too, but I didn't see that really changing people's lives. So I formed another belief about life, and that was, you're either this kind of person that does these good kinds of things, and you can have success, and you can do things, and then there are people like us, and we don't achieve much, and we can't do much. So I grew up with that kind of mentality, and I knew growing up, even way into my adulthood, I knew that most of the problems that I had with relationships, with dealing with life in general, I knew that came from my dad. Mm-hmm. And I knew that came from this crazy upbringing that I had. because my mother, after my dad and her finally did divorce, my mother married another alcoholic, another abusive alcoholic. So I knew that it came from that, but just knowing that did not help me. And I tried to find answers in the church. I joined a Baptist church to begin with, and they were good, sweet people, but they couldn't help me. They could not help me deal with the things, with the trauma that I had suffered in my life. They didn't know how. They wanted to, they tried to, they just did not know how. So then I moved on to a charismatic church. And I've stood in prayer line after prayer line after prayer line. And I said, I had enough people pray over me, it's a wonder I'm not bald. Lay hands on me and pray for me. But it did not change this inner turmoil.
This trauma
That I had. And then I got involved with the group that taught, oh, well, everything that happens to you, that's God trying to teach you something. And my daughter was molested. And that just about broke me. It did break me completely. I said, if this is God, if this is what God uses to teach people things, then I don't want, this is not, I've lived with all of this without God. So if this is what God's doing to teach me things, this is no different from what I've already lived with. So I said, okay, I'm walking away from this. I'm not into this God stuff. And I could still hear my dad say, you're going to hell anyway. I'm going to be free. After he just tried to burn. That echoed in my head day after day after day of my life. So going on, I realized, I thought, maybe there's something about this story that I've missed. Maybe there's something about this Jesus that I don't understand. Maybe I just need to close the book and start at the beginning. So I went to Jesus. I sat in my little chair in my bedroom. That was my little safe place. And I said, okay, God, maybe there's something about you that I don't know. Let's do a rewind. Let's start this over again. And of course he did. But I still struggled with all these inner things about life, about men, about what love was. My idea of love was, if it hurts, it's love, because that's what my daddy taught. So I surrounded myself with people and men that said they loved me and would hurt me. And most of my male relationships were abusive, and I was a very angry woman. I gave as good as I got. I was a fighter, but that didn't help me either. That did not solve my issues. That didn't take care of the situations I had going on in my life. So going on down the road, I did a lot of things to try to heal. Still couldn't afford therapy. I was a single mom most of my life. I was a single mom raising a daughter with no skill set, no education really. I had dropped out of school. No support. So I lived right on the edge of survival and poverty most of my life, and followed a good example. My mother lived right on the edge. I said she lived right on the edge of survival her whole entire life. I loved my mother. My mother was a good woman. She was trapped in the same thing that I was trapped in. And so my brother, I went through another horrible period about 20 years ago, I guess in the early 2000s. Went through another broken relationship. My mother died on a Wednesday. The brother right under me died the Sunday following. My daughter moved away, 6-hour drive away, took all my grandkids, which were very important to me at that time. And I had never felt as alone or as abandoned as I did in my entire life. And I was I was director of this small group home there in Huntsville, called New Covenant Home. It was a home for women, homeless women with children, and it was in a time when most people did not think that women were homeless. And the truth be told was the way women kept from being homeless was bed surfing. And when it would get too bad, they would just move to the next bed. And so I, with a few friends, started this home, and we took in women with children that were homeless, and did that for about 6 years, actually. But then I went through this terrible crisis. My life began to just crumble, absolutely crumble, fall apart. And I went to my brother, who has a large ministry in Huntsville, Impact Ministries. You can look up Google Impact Ministries. It'll come up a million times. Went to my brother, and I said, I cannot keep doing this women's ministry. It's not fair to them, and it's killing me. I can't. The emotional struggle I just can't deal with it anymore. He said, okay, but he said, if I let you come back to work for me, I have created this program called Heart Physics Essentials, and you have to promise me that you'll do Heart Physics Essentials. He said, it's not quite ready to be released. He says, I've got it in testing right now, but you have to promise me that you will. Oh, yes, Jim, I promise. And I was lying, I was lying. And he knew I was lying, actually. Okay. So I go to work for him, and I start answering phones for him and taking orders. He had already published about 10 books, which one of his books that I highly recommend is How to Stop the Pain. That book, we've sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies. It's in counselors' offices. It's in psychiatrists' offices. It's in school counselors' offices. It's everywhere and I know that because I've sold it to the people and talked to the people that I sold it to. And so I went to work for him, and then he had a horrible car accident, and I thought he was going to die. So there I was, another family member in crisis. But he, even in his damaged state, it was terrible. It was terrible. He said, when he finally released the program, he would come back to where I was working, and he'd say, Pat, have you started Heart Physics? Oh, no, Jim, but it's the very next thing on my list. I've got it right here on my to-do list. It's working its way to the top. You promised me. You promised me. I'm telling you, Jim, I'm going to do it. A week or two later, Pat, did you start Heart Physics? Not yet, Jim. It's getting closer to the top of my list. Finally, he came and he said, you promised me that if I let you come back to work for me, that you would do this program. Now, if you're not going to do this program, then we're going to have to make other arrangements. And he was my baby brother, so he had never talked stern to me. We'd had arguments, we'd had discussions before, but he had never talked stern to me because I was the big sis, and he didn't do that. But this time he was saying, this is serious. You got to do this. So because of all the trauma that I had been in, and new trauma on top of that, I was at the stage of my life where it didn't matter if I went to bed at 8 o'clock. It didn't matter if I went to bed at 10 o'clock. It didn't matter if I went to bed at 12 o'clock. I was awake by about 2:30, 3 o'clock every morning. And that was my beat me up time. What if I hadn't done this? What if this hadn't happened? What if this person had not died? Or this person had not done this? Or what? And it just went on and on and on every night. And so one night after he came and said that to me, I said, nothing can be as bad as me laying in this bed night after night after night, rehearsing every miserable mistake I ever made, every miserable mistake that everybody in my life had ever made, every trauma situation. It's not helping. Nothing can be worse than this. So I picked up the Heart Physics, At the time, it was all cassette tapes.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
That goes back.
sure does.
Yeah, at the time, it was all cassette tapes. And so I put the first cassette in my little cassette player at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and started going through this program. And it teaches you, it's a relaxation program to start with. And I say, if people didn't do anything but just learn relaxation techniques, it would be, life would be so much better, and people would be so much healthier, and they would be way less anxiety in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So just learning the relaxation techniques, I started sleeping. I started going back to sleep, which was good, but it was also bad because then I had to figure out another time
To do it.
to do
So
it.
yeah, because you got to keep on you know,
Yeah.
beating yourself up.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So there I was in this, but so one night I get into the bathtub. My body is hurting from my ankles all the way to the top of my head. I was in pain, joint pain, headaches. I had been to the emergency room 3 times thinking I was having heart attacks, and it was nothing but stress and anxiety. And so my body was beginning to fall apart. No longer was it just an emotional issue.
Oh, it affects your physics.
Yeah.
Physical.
Yeah, and so I got in the bathtub, and I was trying not to think about heart physics. I was trying not to think about, I just wanted pain. I just wanted to get in this hot tub as hot as I could stand it, and just not feel pain for just a moment. And I heard this, it wasn't an audible voice, but I heard this voice come up in me and say, "Why do you act as if you're doing all of this alone?" And I thought about that for a moment, because one of the verses that I quoted to myself over and over and over, but didn't really believe, was, "He'll never leave you or forsake you." So in in my mind, that meant he's over here he's in this room somewhere. But I didn't see it as him being in me. I didn't see. And all of a sudden, I had this weird picture of what it looked like if Jesus truly was in me. What did that, and I wish, I cannot draw. I love handcrafting stuff, but I am not an artist. I wish I were an artist. I wish I could draw a picture of what I saw, because it was the most awesome thing. I saw what it actually looked like for Jesus to completely feel my being. And it changed me. And I don't know if this was a vision. I don't know what to call this. I just know that it happened. And so when I kind of came out of vision, experience, imagination, I don't know, I heard this voice again just kind of rising up in me and say, there's another side to this. He said, not only do I feel you, but you feel. And he said, and I made a vow to myself that day, I don't know about this, but I'm going to learn about this. I don't know what this experience means for me. I just know I'm not going to let this experience go. And I say, up until that moment, I had been the loneliest person in the world. I was a party girl. I was the girl that always laughed. I always smiled. I always had a joke to tell. I always, I was just and usually kept myself surrounded with people, but I was always lonely. Never felt like I ever connected with anybody. Never felt like there was a real connection with people. That happened about 20 years ago. And I'd say from that day to this day, I have never felt lonely since. There are times when I feel alone. There are times when I miss my daughter and my grandchildren. They're far away. I still miss them. There are times when I realize I'm bored, that I need to find something to do. There are times I realize I need a new challenge. I need to be challenged. But lonely, I honestly can say in 20-something years, I have not felt 1 second of loneliness. And I think that's why people often turn to drugs and alcohol, is to fill that empty space, that lonely space. And yet, it is the very thing that creates more disconnect, more emptiness, more loneliness, more being separate. Because you can't have a good high and be connected to other people. Maybe while you're smoking your joint or doing whatever it is you do or whatever, but you're not connected.
And it's because of that trauma. You say that is just a way of coping that they haven't been.
They haven't been taught. My brother said it so well. I just don't know any other way of coping with my feelings, my emotions. So that started me on this heart physics journey, and I will have to say every day, even at my age, and I'm not going to say how old or how young, but I've had a lot of life experience, I'll say that. I've lived long enough to have a lot of life experience, and I hope that every day of my life, from now to the time I go home and be with Jesus, I'll discover something new about me, something new about life, something new about God, something I can put into practice, something I can apply to my life, something that I can help other people learn how to apply to their life. So, that started my heart physics experience. And many years after that, it took me a year. I will have to say, I was about the 6th person that had ever done this thing called heart physics. So I had nobody to go and talk to. What's it supposed to do? How's it supposed to feel? What's this all about? I had nobody to ask those questions to. So it took me about a year to actually get through the whole.
Sure.
And it's a 4-week course,
Sure.
and it took me about a year. But I finally did. And my life changed, my attitude changed. I began to look at life differently. I began to learn, and I don't know, there's no way to tell you where this information came from. I began to learn how to cope with my trauma. As a matter of fact, one day, years after I was doing heart physics, I had had a dream from the time I was a young teenager. I couldn't remember when it started, but by this time I was well into my 30s, and the dream would always start out in my teenager years. It was always about boys. I'd have this horrible crush on this boy and just want to be with this boy and want to date this boy, and I would have this dream, and there would always be something between me and this person. Every dream. Might be different boy, might be different situation, but there was always something between me and whoever it was. And as I grew older, it was about situations with my daughter. There'd be something disastrous about to happen, and I'd be trying to get to her, to help her, and there'd always be something between me and her. And I was driving one day, beautiful spring day, blue, beautiful sky, birds singing, flowers blooming. It was just a gorgeous day. And I was on this trip. It was about an hour-long road trip, and not really thinking about anything in particular that I can remember. And all of a sudden, this dream, the memory of this dream pops up. And I thought, gee, I have not had that dream. I couldn't remember. I had had that dream at least every 6 months, every year of my life, since I'd been a teenager. I can't remember. When did I last have that dream? And then all of a sudden, I realized, I thought, that was a heart belief that there'll always be something between me and a person I love, whoever that person is, between me and something I want to do with my life, whether it's a job, whether it's a ministry, whether it's no matter what it is. That was a heart belief that I formed during those traumatic years. That was one of the traumas that I'd seen my daddy with other women. I didn't want other women to be with my daddy. I wanted to be with my daddy. I never was. And that I thought that was a heart belief. It was like chains dropping, literally felt like chains falling away from me. And I knew, although I knew it was a direct result of this heart physics program, just because of the way it takes you through this program, the way it teaches you to relax, the way you learn to use your imagination, not to focus on the pain, not to focus on the trauma, not to focus on all the events that happen, but to focus on Jesus coming into your life, filling you, teaching you how to cope. And that, and those lessons come from a variety of places. I was watching a Will Smith movie one time, and I don't even know the name of the movie, and I love sci-fi movies. And in the movie, Will Smith and his son crashed this UFO on a strange planet with mean aliens that were out to kill everybody. And when they crashed, Will Smith somehow got hurt, and he was going to send his son out to try to find help for him, but there were these aliens that if they found him, they'd kill him. And this line, Will told his son, "Remember, son, danger is real. Fear is only in your mind." And all of a sudden, I knew that was a God moment. God just, when you have this awareness of God in you, God filling you, you feeling God, anything can turn into a God moment. And that's how I began to deal with my fear. Danger is real. There are real dangers out there. And you need to be aware of them. Fear is only in your mind. And the Holy Spirit that lives in you can teach you day to day how to live with this fear. And this comes from this journey. I had never been this aware before. And anything can turn into a life lesson, a crazy sci-fi movie. I had a woman tell me a story about a little kitten crawling up in her lap, which became a real God moment for her. Just any event, if you take your focus off the people that have hurt you, stop judging. I could have, as I thought about that event, about there always being something, and it being tied to this event of my daddy trying to burn our house down. I could have gone into the judgment of saying, well, if my mother had not married him, or if my mother would have just divorced him, or if my daddy wasn't just a total jerk and horrible person, or if God had, all of those are judgment statements, and none of them are helpful. None of those statements that you say to yourself when trauma happens, when you get triggered, none of those statements will help you, and you will have to find a way to run and hide.
And we can't run and hide. Is this still available? I mean, I hate to, we're going to move into art real quick, but I don't even know what time it is. I am so, 8:30.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
20 minutes has gone into, I was so captivated by your story. How can people find this?
You can go to impactministries.com. Actually, I tried to look up their phone. I don't know why I
That's
can't
okay.
remember
You
their
can
phone
just-
number,
yeah.
but their website had crashed this morning. It's back up now, but I still didn't have time to go in and get their phone. But Google impactministries.com, Google Dr. Jim Richards, he'll come up 1,000 times. Google heart physics, it'll come up. He's got all kinds of YouTube videos. There's all kinds of free resources where you can get this information for free. The program itself, I think now he's moving everything to Thinkific and what's the other one? Not Shop.
I don't know. I'm trying to keep up with all this tech
Yes,
stuff.
it's hard for me to keep up with all of that, but yeah, you can Google any of those things. He is not hard to find at all. You can find me
Let's go into you. Usually down at the Artisan Depot.
Artisan Depot Gallery. You can find me there. I'm there quite often. It's an all volunteer situation, so I'm not there every day, but I am there quite often. I do our website designing. I do our newsletters, and I actually find time to do a little art and a little. We right now have a great upcycle show going on,
I saw that.
and I will have to brag on myself. I've got some beautiful upcycled garments in this show, and I do take custom orders. So if you can't find, if you find something that you're interested in, but it's not your size, or or you've got an idea, say you've got a jean jacket that you'd like to have something put on the back
Oh,
of it.
I have one that Misty made me for the RNC convention, and it's gorgeous. And now that I know she's kind of busy now, now I know where to go. Yeah, there's a whole nother show talking about your art, because
Yes.
you have used art as your therapy.
As my therapy.
And that's, like I said, a whole nother show. So, how can they find you? So the best place to find you, maybe someone wants to talk. Would you be open to talking to folks who
I would be.
are at crossroads, or I don't know?
As a matter of fact, I do heart physics coaching. I don't do as much of it anymore. I've kind of turned that over to some other people.
Sure.
We've got a whole host of people that are training to be heart physics coaches. Those are the people that you can go to ask questions.
Okay.
I did not have that. I struggled through it by myself, but now we have people that can help take you through that. We can help people encourage you along the way. We can't fix you. We can't change you. You have to do your own work to get, to decide what you want your life to be. But I'm telling you, coming from an entire family of lifelong alcoholics and drug addicts, it's possible.
It is.
It is possible.
And childhood trauma is the key. You've got to face, we've got to cope and learn how to heal.
Right. Now, I have an email address. It's a little bit long, but
Let me write it down. Go ahead.
Pat,
Hmm?
HP Coach
Okay.
at gmail.com.
Oh, that's not long. You haven't seen mine yet. Gmail.com.
.com. I also have, for my art, I also have Pat's Wearables and
Wearables.
Art, A&D, art, at gmail.com.
Okay. And find her on Facebook. She is queen of Facebook.
Patricia Richards.
Patricia Richards. I love reading her stuff. So I hope to have you back. I mean, this is a very weighty topic.
It's a very weighty topic. And it's not, heart physics is not something that you can
it's on
explain
bite
to
side.
people
Yeah, how
in
do you
30
do that?
minutes.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. And we took like 45.
Yeah.
And we're still not even touching the surface. So, but it's profound stuff. And it inspired me enough to say, hey, here's my booking link. Come on. And you were brave enough to come on. Is this your first TV?
No.
Oh, well then.
No, it's the first in a long time.
Okay.
It is the first in this community.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of excited to see
Oh, we're more than happy to welcome you back. It is an issue. We are going to wrap our arms around it. We're going to figure it out. We're small enough that we're going to figure it out.
It's like I said, my whole family, and I don't know how many generations it goes back.
It goes
in
back
my,
to like the sins of our fathers.
Yeah, I like I said, my heritage, part of my heritage is indentured Irish
Sure.
servants, and we all know how the Irish love their drink.
Sure
So
do. We're probably kin. All right. Well, I'm going to send Pat out to spread joy and sunshine wherever she goes. Go visit her at the Artisan Gallery. I hope to have you back and just talk more about the topic. It's an important one, and I think it's a part of our solving a lot of our issues with addiction.
and I'm going to leave these
Do
two
I get
with
that?
you. You get those.
Okay, I'll have to- All right. Well, we're going to go on a quick break. I have no idea what time it is, but we'll be right back as always. Thanks for watching Morning on the Mountain. I'll see you in a minute.
In the collection of the Psalms, you will come across about 15 Psalms grouped together towards the end of the collection, Psalms 120 to 134. And you will see in the superscription, that little piece above verse 1 in these Psalms, that they are Psalms of Ascent. These are thought to be particular psalms that would have been sung by the people of the Lord when they came together and they ascended Mount Zion, going to the Jerusalem temple to worship. I'd like to read one of these psalms for your edification right now. The Psalm 130, a song of ascents. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. O Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my pleas for mercy. If you, O Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, that you may be feared. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I hope. My soul waits for the Lord, more than watchmen for the morning, more than watchmen for the morning. O Israel, hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is steadfast love, and with him is plentiful redemption, and he will redeem Israel from all his iniquity. Hope that's edifying to you. I'm J.D. Cantrell, a member at the Montego Church of Christ. But really, I'm just a guy who loves Jesus and wants to follow after him. May you do the same, and may you be blessed.
Tracy Clinic, located at 740 Main Street in Tracy City, specializes in family medicine. Nurse practitioner Devin Land Lampley is now seeing patients. Call today for an appointment at 592-4242. Open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday. That's the Tracy Clinic. 592-4242.
Sequatchie Valley Electric Cooperative is here to serve you in your business or in your home. Pay your electric bill in the comfort of your own home with SVEC's new online billing service. Wouldn't it be nice to know in advance how much to budget for your electric bill each month? Visit us at one of our convenient offices or go online to www.svalleyec.com. Sequatchie Valley Electric, providing electrical service to over 33,000 homes and businesses in all or portions of Bledsoe, Grundy, Marion, Sequatchie, Coffee, Hamilton, Ray, and Van Buren counties in Tennessee. SVEC, staying up with today and working for tomorrow.
TennCare's new diaper benefit helps our youngest members and their families stay healthy and happy. If your child is younger than 2 and has TennCare or Cover Kids, they can get up to 100 diapers every month at no cost. To get diapers, visit a participating pharmacy. You don't need a prescription. Just show your child's pharmacy card at the counter. For newborns without a card, you can use the parent's pharmacy card. The pharmacy staff will check to see if you qualify and help you get up to 100 diapers for a month. TennCare will cover a variety of diaper brands and sizes to meet your child's needs. You can find a list of covered brands on the TennCare diaper webpage.
Diapers are available at Mike's Pharmacy, located at 740 Main Street in Tracy City. That's Mike's Pharmacy, 592-9190.
Piggly Wiggly, a supermarket chain since 1916, operates more than 600 locally owned stores, including the Mont Eagle location that now stocks the largest selection of fine wine, domestic and import beer in the area. Piggly Wiggly's farm fresh fruit is a sweet deal at everyday low prices. Piggly Wiggly stocks carefully selected, always fresh vegetables from the common to the unusual. All of the organic products we sell meet strict USDA guidelines. The Pig has a large meat department that to this date custom cuts and wraps its pork, chicken, and certified Angus beef to your request. Certified Angus beef brand is a cut above USDA Prime Choice and Select. With a large dairy selection of fresh milk and cheese products and your favorite drink products, you will never go home thirsty from the Pig. Visit the Piggly Wiggly Deli and put in your order for an outstanding selection of cheeses, salads, and deli meat products from Boar's Head brand and more. Be sure to check out our weekly special circular for great deals. That's the Piggly Wiggly of Mont Eagle, Tennessee.
Caverns, you can tour a cool cave, listen to live music underground, or just kick back at the outdoor amphitheater. It's homegrown fun deep in the Tennessee hills. Check out what's going on at www.thecaverns.com, where the destination becomes a journey. Dr. Eric Shull of Shull Chiropractic Clinic is proud to serve our community from his office at the Country Mart building in Mont Eagle, offering trusted, effective care for all ages, including spinal decompression, dry needling, or infrared therapy. Come see what a difference it makes to feel good again. Call 931-924-4869 to set up your appointment today. Tracy City welcomes Trackside, offering a full breakfast, lunch, and dinner menu from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. daily. A full breakfast menu is available until 10 o'clock with local favorites of biscuit and gravy, pancakes, and build-your-own omelets. Located on Railroad Avenue across from the Roundhouse Park in Tracy City. Join the crew in saying, who has more fun than us? All right, you guys are going to absolutely flip and kill me. I did not have my Zoom yesterday. I have my Zoom this morning at 9 a.m. I have just gotten into the weight room for this.
Good morning.
So I'm going to have to leave it at 9 o'clock. Oh, good. I'm not on. All right. Oh, my goodness. Today, Three Seasons Market over at Billotell Parton Center, 3 to 6. Go on and check it out. Grundy Safe Coalitions. Belinda will be giving out summer meal program 3 to 6 as well. Last one of the entire summer. So come pick up 10 meals, 5 breakfast, 5 lunch, and just for kids 2 to 18. All right, so that's that. Birthdays really quick. You guys, I don't have anything on my August. Let me see here. Go on. I saw several birthdays, honestly. Everyone's jumping on that Zoom. I don't know if I can do this multitasking, I'm telling you. Happy birthday to Ronnie Wayne, Lindsay Brooke Brown, Tabitha Sherrill. Then this weekend coming up, we have got, you know what? I'm not even going to be able to pull this up. I'm so sorry. And then on Monday, don't forget that Paul Tittle will be here. He'll be taking over for me. And he is bringing some surprise guests. He's going to have Mike Yarworth and he's going to be coming with Mike Yarworth and Howell King. So super excited about that. Thank you to Pat Richards, who was here for a really interesting topic. I mean, she's fascinating. I apologize for even cutting it short because it's a it's an important topic, and I think we can chew on it more. So my apologies for letting that go long, but there's just no way I could have not listened to that. So thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for being patient with this situation and my crazy schedule these days. There is no other place that I would rather be than right here with y'all. It just sometimes my time is torn. So I'm going to apologize for today, and you guys are going to have super fun on Monday. We got a prayer list. Lord, right now I just have Louis Nolan and Gina Baskin on this prayer list. If you don't mind, I know there's a bunch of other folks that need to go back on here. You know their needs. We're just so incredibly thankful for you and everything you do in our lives and the signposts and the moments that you bring us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, the other thing, Daniel messaged me, and I got a few more messages. Lager Church, back to school bash is 12 to 4. It's another annual thing. They do a bang-up job over there getting school supplies, and I think it's haircuts and so many other things. So stop by Lager Church, 12 to 4. And then Highland Community Church starts at 10. I want to say theirs is 10 to 4. Check Highland Community Church for more information. And they have all the hoopla as well, school supplies while supplies last. That is with everything that we have while supplies last. But please come on out. And then Appalachian Women's Guild is having their back to school sale. They'll be open on Saturday, and they're still doing the $3 bag sale. So let's stock up our kids back to school. Let's get them ready, set up for success. It's going to be an exciting year. And we're going to be great and Grundy. We're going to rise like a phoenix and be fabulous. All right. Let me check what time it is. 8:50. I can do several phone calls. Stephen's going to keep me on track, if you don't mind, because I can't turn off this sound. I don't know why. All right, here we go. Morning. Morning. They probably hung up. I know it's been a long morning. Morning.
How you doing, Michelle?
Hey, buddy. Happy Friday. How are you?
Hey, if you still in Town here a minute. So,
Oh, all right. You know, I ran out of time today, Lily. Monday, Paul will be here, so harass him a little bit if you don't mind.
yeah, I talked to him a little bit on Monday.
Okay. All right, buddy. I hope you have a fabulous day.
I talked to you Tuesday.
All right, buddy. See you. Bye. I'm so sorry. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Leslie. How art thou?
I'm doing wonderful this morning.
Well, I had a wonderful, wonderful guest this morning. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it, but it was wonderful. It
Yeah.
was wonderful. Which makes me say that if you don't mind, if we can continue this on Tuesday, I mean, the boys, I'm sure, would love to hear it on Monday. But if we can just continue on our Daniel journey on Tuesday, that would be wonderful.
What's going on Monday?
Well, I'm not going to be here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Misty is gallivanting around the world, so Paul Tittle is hosting.
Okay.
Yeah, he's coming out of retirement, and he's hosting on Monday. He's hooking me up, and he's invited Mike Yarworth and Hal King to join him. So I have no idea what kind of shenanigans they're going to get into, but it should be fun.
Well, that's fine with me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, but I don't want if you do your Daniel thing on Monday, I want it done again on Tuesday, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't want to ruin the story.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. Happy Friday. Anything we need to know before we head out?
No, nothing I know of right now, but I'll let you know if anything changes.
Wait.
But I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you.
To get things going that may open up people's lives. That's my desire.
All we can do is put the light forward and hope that they go towards it.
Right.
Right? I'm not going to tell anybody what to do.
No, we can't.
So, but we can show them what it is what the light looks like, what it feels like.
Yeah, it's their decision.
That's their decision. You can't make anybody do anything. Trust me, I'm probably one of the most stubborn people in the whole wide world. And I know how it's worked in my life. So And you know her whole point about sitting still, meditation, listening. We've been talking about that for a hot minute.
Yeah.
We just got to sit back and listen.
Right.
So anyway, I appreciate you. I'm sorry I ran out of time, but I just couldn't. I couldn't stop the story.
That's okay. You just have a great weekend and stay safe.
I appreciate you, Leslie. Thank you so much. Morning.
Good morning.
What you doing?
Popping.
I know. I got you down. I've got to do my Zoom. Is Junior? Have Junior yell at me.
No,
Yell at me, buddy.
he's up yonder. Let me
No,
walk on up.
that's okay. That's okay. This one, I'm just gonna say, hey, he's doing his thing.
He's up here, right?
Yeah, I trust you. Don't you worry. I know where to haunt you. But I've got you both down. We just had a guest that went late, and I've got to get off here, and it's just all different. Monday, Paul Tittle will be here.
Okay. I was wondering when it was. I was telling him.
Yep.
I didn't know if it's today or not.
Yeah, so harass him. I think, Mike Yarworth and Hal King will be here too.
Oh, okay.
So they're going to have some shenanigans going on Monday. So definitely call in then. But it's just, it's going to be different than our usual. Right. But I'll be here. I'll be back on Tuesday, good Lord willing.
Okay.
All right. You guys have fun. Keep me posted.
I will.
All right, honey. Bye. All right, that is it. How'd we do? 8:55. Do y'all mind if we go off? Would you mind, Stephen? Okay, because I think everyone's listening to me. Thank you so much. If this Zoom wasn't so important and to get this done, state doesn't operate. But all right, so I think I've announced all the things that are necessary. The second Grundy County Saddle Club is having their horse show. Go out and support them. It's the August show. They're doing such great work over at the show arena, and eventually their dream is to have a covered arena and having more things there. So please help support them. Our back to school bashes. Hall of Fame is at 5 o'clock. I want to say 4 o'clock is the meal, and that deadline has been passed, but you can go visit at 5 o'clock, I think, is when the show or not the show, but the ceremony starts, and they're going to be inducting into the Hall of Fame. I'm going to try to get there to do a Facebook Live. I'm going to try to. Got something in Nashville. I'm going to come back, which reminds me, please, if you get a chance, 1 to 4 is the come and see, not event, but over at St. Mary's. So go check it out. Speaking of meditation and things that help your spiritual self, please just pop on over there 1 to 4. You go right past Sewanee, like you're heading down to Cowan, you make a left going towards Sherwood, and then you make a right for St. Mary. I think it's St. Mary's Way. I don't know. It's sort of Templeton Way. I don't know. It's the same road to get to Templeton Library, but St. Mary's is there on the right. Go check that out, 1 to 4. Say hey to everyone. Boy, it's a full weekend again. I think that's all I got. Check the Morning on the Mountain Facebook page, but most definitely buy the Grundy County Herald and check out all the great work. I am going to take this real quick. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, girl, I got you down.
Okay.
Have you a great weekend?
Thank you.
Bye, sweetheart. All right, that's it. I think I've done it. I appreciate y'all. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened yesterday. I'm getting old. I have no idea, but I'm so sorry. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to see you Tuesday. If there's anything that goes on, message me, please. Let me know what's going on. And I'll try to help out all the organizations and all the people that I can here at GCTV 6. As always, thanks for watching Morning on the Mountain. I'll see you on Tuesday.